this is something that people talk about as far as legalism, and that word comes up, and we don't like it, but we really need to talk about it. We are to keep Torah. We agree with that. When we have the Spirit, and the Spirit comes on us as believers, we now talk about that we have the power to keep Torah, but that could be seen as legalism. So how do we discuss this whole aspect of keeping Torah in the Spirit, not becoming legalistic?
Okay, well, one thing we recognize that this, being in the Spirit, living in the Spirit, it is really spoken of, as Yeshua said, that he would be in us. He would dwell in us. And in Shaul, Paul said, it's the Messiah in us. And so when he is in us, we will desire, we will decide to do his good pleasure. And when he's in us, Yeshua can't break the Torah.
Right.
He will not break the Torah. These are the instructions that he said he didn't come to do away with, not one vowel, one consonant from the Torah till all's fulfilled, heaven and earth pass away. And so, he is in us. And when we yield ourselves, when we let him live in us and get our old man out of the way, he's going to do it. He's going to do it.
We're not doing Torah.
No, we're not doing it. He does the Torah in us.
Using us as a vessel.
That's right.
Yeah.
So with him doing it in us, see, grace is the empowerment to live a holy, a righteous, and a godly life in the middle of a sick, twisted, and perverse world. And when we attempt to do it ourselves, by our own strength, by our own flesh, we fail. We can't do it. No time in Israel could they do it completely. But yet, with him in us, he empowers us to do this. And so when we find ourselves, as some people do, outside of the instructions, it's either just outright rebellion, or we haven't renewed our mind and allowed
the carnal nature, the
yes,
evil
the carnal nature, which has enmity against the Torah.
Right.
And this is what Shaul's talking about, that the natural man has enmity against the Torah. He doesn't want to do it. And those who do want to do it can't do it in their flesh, but his empowerment does it in us and through us.
This is really amazing, because it is this freedom and it is this balance in Torah, that it's not that now that we have the Spirit and we always say this, well, now you can do Torah. But can we really, are we to double, triple our efforts in our own strength to now do Torah because we have the Spirit? No. Yield to the Spirit and let him make you a vessel. He will do Torah through you, the Torah as it applies to everyone and the individual calling that he has on you. And now we give ourselves over, we get rid of the natural man, and we walk in that freedom. And how powerful is that the Spirit that was in Messiah, that allowed him as a man to lead this sinless life, that same Spirit is in us. So people say, well, you can't do it. That's true, and yet we can do all things with Messiah, with that anointing that strengthens us through us. So that really is walking in Torah, walking in the Spirit. Yield to the Spirit and walk in Torah. It's amazing.
Well, let me ask you something, Chaim. Yeah. Can you go 5 minutes without sinning?
I think so. I think I can.
Can you go 10 minutes?
I try, but I guess I shouldn't be trying. I should be yielding too. That's right.
Okay. All right. So at what point do you have to sin? I mean, how many minutes?
Come on, I'm only human, right?
How many hours have to pass?
I'm only human. At some point, I have to sin, right? I mean, isn't that the way we have to?
I don't see that in the Scripture. I don't see any place that you have to sin.
Right. So when do we go back, and when do we have? I know what point you're getting at. At what point do we decide? Well, I'm only human. Of course, I'm going to sin. Now, does it happen? It does. Is that what we're taught? Is that what we're shown? Is that what? No, of course not.
No,
so we need to get away from this attitude of I'm only human. That's true, but you now have the Spirit in you to overcome all of those things, all of that temptation, and to go toward this perfection that we're all called to.
And are we not called to walk in the fullness and stature of Messiah, to grow up in him?
Body, soul, and spirit. Complete
that's
man,
it.
yeah.
That's what it's all about.